Do wear makeup. Don't overdo it. Don't wear
Hi, good
clunky
evening.
jewelry
My name's Amy
or
Lehner.
record
I'm
in a
working
noisy
on
place.
the Miller
Do wear a
theory.
shirt with a solid
It
color.
looks like we're
Don't
working
wear
on the
shirts that are too
reality
bright or
theory,
have
choice
patterns or
theory,
designs.
EBT
Good
theory
luck
as
in
well on
recording your
there.
videos.
And I believe with first starting the theory practice is getting to know the client, letting the client get to know you as well. And there's some good techniques and questions that you should start off with the client, just to get to know them personally. So what we would do is, basically with reality and choice theory, we talk about the quality worlds, and we could ask them questions like, ask them, tell me about your world. What do you see in your picture? Do you have a happy place? Do you have a favorite place to go? The positive aspects, trying to get them to think positive, to focus away from the negative, so that way we can change their quality of life. Because with the more inner center basis, they'll focus on the positive, and they won't focus on the negative anymore. And it does have a big impact on their behaviors too. Excuse me, I have a cold, so bear with my voice. But these are some questions that I would ask. I would ask them, can you tell me some of the wants in your world? And what do you think are some of the most important wants in your life? What are you looking for? Are there certain goals that you're still working on? Are there places that you want to visit, before? Do you have future plans, on getting married, more children? Your hobbies, your general interests, make sure it's a positive focus with your client. And then I'd also ask them, what kind of wants do you believe motivate you to do things? What are things that help the person to get motivated? What is it that you want for yourself? So I think that's a good, start basis with your client, because it helps you to get to know them, in their world, just to make sure, that they are thinking positive and clear, in reality. And that way we can get them to work with the reality theory, the choice theory, in addition to, getting them started with the basics, and then also letting them know who I am, the general area that I work with. And as soon as, he answers the questions, it'll give me a better basis of the ways we can, help him with the reality theory and get him more focused on his, future positive environments with a positive future for him. Okay, and as far as the WDEP system to help him in exploring, creating a plan to strengthen him in his relationships, once again, that's working on his goals for the future. What is he looking at? What does he want to do? Because like with the WDEP system, it's the want of the client, what the client is doing in his or her life's direction. Evaluating if the client, what they're focusing on currently is good. It's a good behavior habit. Are they living in a positive environment? Are they associating with positive people? Or is there something that's, making them negative? That way we can turn the negative into positive for him. And then finally with the WDEP system, developing a plan of action that can be implemented. The WDEP system, you understand the importance of exhibiting the tonics and avoiding the toxins, kind of giving them the positive aspects, keep everything very positive, focus with the client, try to teach him from the negative thinking. We're going to get him or her out of their negative environment, change their lifestyles, change their habits, and it'll definitely change their behaviors too. And if they kind of have some negative aspects in their life, I'll kind of see if we can, see if he wants to talk about that. What happened in his past or the environment, is he in trauma? Did he experience a traumatic, experience in his life? Because that can have a lot to do with his behavior, as well. That has a lot of impact on a person's behavior. And another thing too, examine the strengths and weaknesses of the reality therapy, especially, with cross-cultural counseling, their religion, emphasize to them, what we're focusing for them to work on with reality therapy. We examined the efficacy of the reality therapy to the kinds of research studies, and we applied the reality therapy through, a case study with them. And like I said, as far as multicultural issues, you always want to be up to date on the different types of cultures, their religions, their, values, their beliefs, because that also has a lot to do with one's behavior. And you want to respect their religions and cultures too. So that way you can be more familiar, with why they are behaving the way they do, the way they live the way they do. And you're respecting your client that way, and they'll have a lot more respect for you too. If they can come to you and feel comfortable knowing that they can speak with you about their culture, that's going to have a good therapy session with your client as well. It makes them comfortable with the therapist. Now, if we were trying to do the rational emotive behavior therapy, instead of reality therapy, there's quite a difference with that, because with the REBT, it's kind of a more intense therapy. It gets them a little more emotional based, to try to see if they'll discuss their feelings more, what's impacted them, why is their behavior changed. It is still a very good therapy to utilize, but personally, I like the reality therapy, because I think that with getting them out of the external and making them focus more on the internal would be a positive focus and a big change on their behavior. And I also think it's a really good therapy for the clients too. And like I said, I like the Glasser's therapy system with that. I do like the WDEP system on there. It's more of a positive impact on the client. It changes their behaviors depending on their environment, getting them more positively focused, thinking of new dreams, but, setting up new goals, changing their whole lifestyle, which will have a definite positive impact on your client. And it's my pleasure to help the client on that as well. Well, my name's Amy Lehner, and it was definitely my pleasure to help you all tonight. Sorry about my voice. God bless.